Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Linda Israel, and thank you so very much for coming to my live stream here on YouTube. I greatly appreciate your support and for taking the time to come here and hang out. There are a few things that I want to go over before the actual live started, so this is a recording. First of all, I want to make sure that you like this video and subscribe, so give it a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. When you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell up in the corner. That way you'll get a notification whenever I upload a video. I have a broadcast post or even a live stream. If you're watching this video as a replay and you're on a computer, look for the little gear at the bottom. You can change the speed to speed it up. Or if you're on a mobile device, look for the little three dots and usually you can change the playback speed there. My live streams generally last about 2 hours. They can go as long as 3 hours. It kind of depends on what we're working on that day and how the feedback is in the chat. While you're watching, you earn junk bucks. So if you are here, in order to get those junk bucks accumulating, go ahead and type hello in the chat and my little bot, Junkie Joe, will see you and then you'll start accruing junk bucks. And you're wondering, well, what do I do with those junk bucks? Well, you can accumulate those, and once you have 2,000 of them, you can type !award and you can redeem them for a $10 off coupon to my shop. You can earn junk bucks while you're here and when you are chatting, as well as when you play the in-chat game. So look for those as they come up, and if you make a donation. For those of you that make a donation during my live stream, make sure that you go over to my website at lindaisrael.com, and if you haven't already done so, create a user account. When you make a donation during my live stream, basically you're buying a membership to my website and to the live stream. In my opinion, what we're doing is you're accumulating that money in my account. Thank you for that donation. And as a reward, you will get 5% off your orders at lindaisrael.com. And during the live stream, if I have a journal that I'm giving away at the very end, you are eligible to win that journal. Anybody that makes a donation gets into that drawing by manually typing in the raffle at the end, but then you also get the discount membership on my website. Thank you to Robin, who is my administrator during the live stream. She helps me out with answering questions as well as giving information. She is also my administrator over at the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, please do. We'd love to have you over there. You're welcome to share what you're working on. Speaking of sharing, during the live today, you can speak up in the chat and say, hey, I have a YouTube channel. You will not be able to share your link to your channel, but you can at least say, hey, my name is, and this is what I do. And then your friends that come into the chat can follow each other. Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. If you will be kind to those that are here. If you have a question, put it in all caps and I'll do my best to answer those. The chat sometimes goes pretty fast, so I don't always see it, so do ask again. And at the same time, if you're in the chat and you know the answer to somebody's question, please speak up and give them the answer. Check the description box for links to products that I share today. Yes, I am an Amazon affiliate, which means I do get a commission on items that you purchase through my link. If you're going to buy something anyway, I greatly appreciate it. It does not cost you any extra. It just gives me a little bit of a commission, which helps me buy products to show you here. If you win one of the raffles, you can start right now by typing !raffle. Do make sure that you go over to my website, and if you haven't already created a user account, that way I will have your contact information so I can send you your prize. I am starting a raffle right now that is for 200 junk bucks, so you can get well on your way to accumulating your junk bucks. Let's have some fun today and let's get started. Thanks everybody for being here. Hello, everybody. My desk is chaos. Do you like? Can you hear me okay? Okay, so next to your names on the live stream, you have crowns now. Well, in the view that I see, because I don't keep YouTube open on my computer because it bogs it down, I have a chat bot. That's where Junkie Joe is. So I don't see crowns and whatnot. So it might be something that has been elevated on YouTube for some reason. Who knows? Uh-oh. Oh, I guess Jennifer is sending me a text to show me what it is. Now I'm getting emails. Well, cool. I didn't notice that. Neat. Thanks. You sent me a picture. Now I know. Well, hello everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad that you're here. I don't know if I'm ready or not. We're going to do the best I can with what I got. Isn't that how you do it? You were about to send me the same thing? Alrighty. That's funny. Did y'all have a good week? Have you done anything fun and creative? I've been busy, so I thought we'll get started on this journal. I got a piece of fabric I think I want to use. So when we left off, I've got a mess here. See all of this? It's a mess. Let's move it over here. When we left off, we were working in the journal, and I think I had made this little journal card and stuck it in this pocket. And I have a couple other things that I stuck in here as well. Some card that I made via Norella. I printed or photographed the flower, and she used my flower and one of my gel prints to make the background. And then this is just a plain envelope. Oh, I don't know. Well, who knows? Well, I guess we'll find out, right? Let's see. We made this little mini journal. I had made it to go in this pocket, but it stuck out too far, so I put it in this pocket. And then we made this little journal, which is full of pages to write upon or add things to. I didn't embellish it, so today I thought we would make a similar journal to this so that it will fit inside a pocket here that I cut after the live stream. I just cut that part of the bag open, and then I've also gone in and I've added some things that I thought would look good on the pages, but I haven't put them in place yet. So let's flip this over here. So I'm kind of working like this is going to be the next pocket that's going to be filled, and I have a big mess here. Let me get myself fixed. All right, so I went ahead and I cut some paper where I had some scrapbook paper, and this was a piece of cardstock from Canvas Corp Brands, and I had this scrapbook paper. I haven't put the distressing around the edges, but I thought this could be the cover of the next journal. And then the inside pages, this will be the inside of the cover. I have gone ahead and just kind of selected a few things. I went ahead and just kind of collaged on this page. This is a piece of scrapbook paper that had lines, and I did it on a book page. Let's see. And this is some composition notebook paper that was dyed. I think, yeah, this has a book page. I think the rest of them are plain paper. Oh yeah, and then I have this book page one that I started. All right, so here's what I've got. I've got a book page here that measures about, let's get the ruling, the measuring device, right? So it's almost 11 inches, and it should be 7 3/4 inches tall, because that's how tall my journal is, and I'm trying to stay within that measurement, but I'm okay with it being short, meaning this side doesn't come all the way. This is a Hi, Naomi. Welcome, welcome. Oh, and I didn't mean to say it, but I forgot to say hello, Julie, and hello, Jennifer. This is just a page out of a dictionary, and then I had some scraps of paper laying around here. I have a map out of a dictionary as well, and I have some more of this lined paper that I thought maybe I could cut part of it and kind of collage on top of this piece. So let's look here. If I were to cut off this white area, that would make a good layer on one side of this. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to cut it off and cut this one off. So trying to use up a lot of the stuff that I have and trying not to save too many more things these days. All right, so my thought was I would just stick that right in the middle of the page, and then maybe we could layer, I'm trying to decide, maybe this color over the top of it, where those could create some journaling space there. Yeah, you had to pet the puppy. Put the puppy up. Put the puppy up. Was the puppy getting a little rambunctious? We stopped by, where was it? Oh, we went to Quail Springs Mall. Sometimes we'll drive up there in Henry's electric car. So Jennifer knows where that is located. And any of my other local peeps would know where Penn Square or Quail Springs Mall. I'm trying to say all the malls' names. And we go up there to walk because it's inside and it's cool. It's free and we can walk around pretty much easily without too much crowd and having to get out of the way of other people and whatnot. And they have now made a pet store in there. And I feel bad for these poor animals because they're all from what I would call puppy mills. That's places that all they do is breed dogs, and their goal is to get as many as they can to sell. And they're not really usually in really good shape when they're in them. Anyhow, I walked through with Henry, and they had a bunch of Yorkie puppies. And I thought, oh, these poor puppies. But I'm not getting another puppy. Well, that may be it too, you know. I had an update when I was getting everything turned on this morning, so I don't know if that's why that is there or what the deal is. I can't decide if I want to put it at the bottom or the top. I think I'll just kind of put it here in the middle. I'm trying to see if there was anything else I wanted to add on here, but I think that's what I'm going to do. These are those tear-off notepads that I picked up from the Dollar Tree a long time ago, and I stamped around them. Yeah, so I don't know how. I know that they've had some in the past that were shut down due to health reasons, and I know that puppy mill puppies are not the best puppies to get. If anything, if you ever want to buy anywhere in the world what we call a full blood dog, then you want to go directly to the source, and it is better if it's just someone who has, you know, a couple of dogs and they just decided to breed their female and they're not in the business full time of selling dogs, because that's all they care about. They'll tell you all the lies they can. Oh, the top 3 people get crowns. Okay, well, right now, all of you should have crowns, right? Oh, okay, good. That'll be good. Yeah, because I don't need a puppy fix. All right, so I've got this piece that I think could go across the page. This isn't long enough. Do I have another? I'm looking to see if I have another little something or another. I do have I see a gel print here. I wonder if it's long enough. It's not long enough. But I have this gel print. That would be long enough. Why not, if I were to cut a strip and then put this down, that would give us some pretty colors, right? Of course it would. It was just about going to look at puppies. There's a place in a mall near us that sells dogs, and Henry and I stopped in there to look, just to look. We were not going to buy one. And Jennifer is just saying that she would be happy to let me visit with her puppy. And I'm going to cut this to be the same width as the book page. All right, so we got one piece. So that's going to go across here. And then I need to cut this about, let's do 3 1/4. And then we'll cut it the same width as this one. It may need just to be a little bit trimmed, not much. 15-year-old Cocker Spaniel. Oh my goodness. I don't think we ever had a Cocker live to be 15. Of course, that's the perils of living out on a farm. It seems always something happened to one of the dogs. You've been looking for the Fiskars cutter. I don't know if I have the link to it. I think mine's broken. It is. This hinge is broken right here. I've only had this, I don't know how many years. Let me look. Let me look to see if the link still works, because I did find them on Amazon once, and I guess I'm going to need a new one because that hinge just broke. You've had them till 19. I had a poodle who made it to 18 years, and I had a cat that made it to almost 18 years. Hercules is 15, will be 16 in August. Oreo is 15 and would be 16 in December. But Oreo, I don't know. He's having a hard time getting up, and he eats, but he hasn't been eating as robustly as he used to. I don't know. It's sad. Yep. Cocker Spaniels do have special personalities. We used to raise them. And when I was talking about puppy mill, my mother used to breed dogs. Now, they were not in a huge facility. We had a couple of dogs, and we would breed them and get puppies, and Mom would sell them occasionally. But they lived in the house with us. I mean, it wasn't like a typical breeder. And we bred Cocker Spaniels. And then later we bred Minger Schnauzers. We had Pomeranians and Boston Terriers were some of the dogs. And the dogs came to us. It's kind of funny because Mom would meet people because she also groomed dogs. And then all of a sudden she ended up with a pair of breeding dogs. So then she would, we would bring them in the house and love on them and pet on them, and then they would breed them, and they would have puppies, and then we would sell the puppies, and then it just kept going and going and going. I think it was when I was in high school that Mom finally sold all of the dogs that were of breeding age and to somebody else, or they were sold as pets. It's kind of different. Yeah, that was a gel print. That was a gel print that I made a while back. And it was with the Moroccan stencil. And it looks like I laid the stencil down, put the color in, and then I had some stuff on the gel print when it came up, so it has some cool colors. The blue one is a gel print. Hopefully I did it right. Yep, okay. So I'm just going to fold this in half again. Like so. Oh, Jennifer, thank you again for the eggs. I have enjoyed them very much. Thank you very, very much. And thank you for the 2 pepper plants. They're still growing. In fact, Henry went ahead and bought 2 more pepper plants because he wanted to have more varieties. So we got those at, where did we go? I think we got them at TLC off of North Memorial because they were having a special for Memorial Weekend, that it was buy any of their vegetable plants and you got them for $1.99, which was pretty cheap, so we did that. All right, so now I've got another book page, and I'm looking to make sure that I don't have anything else I need to. I have a couple more pieces of paper that I have stamped upon. And this doesn't go all the way across, but this one does. I'm thinking of cutting this one shorter and then finding something to go down the sides. I could. Is that enough? No, it's not enough. It would be, if I cut it in half, I don't think it would fit. Let's do this. This is how we can figure out if it'll cover the whole thing. Okay, so it won't cover the whole thing. So what do we want to do? You know what? I have some washi tape. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut these to be the same height. And then I'll cut this one in half. So it will give us some more space, if you will. So I'm just going to line this up. Come on now. Maybe I should have just measured it. What is this measurement? It is 7 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go over here, do 7 3/4, put it this way, and slice that off. All right, so I have a couple little pieces. And then this piece, I'm going to cut in half. So I'm just going to crease it so I know where that is. Okay. Alrighty. So now we got these 2 pieces. It'll go down the side. And I found some washi tape that's kind of neutral. So I think what I'm going to do is put some washi tape on the edges here. And then when I put this down and put this down and put this down, that edge will be filled in, if that makes sense. Okay? So we're going to start here. I'm going to put a little bit of glue down because this washi tape is somewhat old and it doesn't always stay stuck. So I found if I add a little bit of glue to my paper, it works better. All right, so now I'm just going to take this and put it right across here. I've been working out in my yard, my garden, whatever you want to call that, moving some things around, and we made some new beds a while back, so I've been working on putting plants down. I had a whole bunch of terracotta pots that I've had for a long time, and they were all different sizes, but mostly small pots, and I was trying to figure out a way to use them, and Henry suggested that I paint them, So I did, and I ended up putting a few plants in those small pots. And then my plan in the fall, when right before the freeze, the last freeze, I'll empty out all of the terracotta pots that aren't going to overwinter with whatever plant is in them. And I will clean them and probably paint those as well. So it's starting to make my the garden area a little bit more colorful with all those pots, different colors and sizes and shapes. It's kind of fun. Okay, come on. There we go. I was cutting off the excess. I don't even know where I got this washi tape. It may have been some that was given to me, or it was part of a collection. But it was just kind of cutesy. Nothing real fancy about it. I'm trying to put the scraps on the end because I hate trying to get the end loose from the roll. But it was not cooperating. All right, so now I've got it down the sides. And I think what I'm going to do next is I think we need some distress inks on the papers. So let's do that. To prune the roses. I had a couple of rose bushes, but they got the rosette disease, and I had to remove them. I was so sad. My mom, when she lived with us, she loved knockout roses. And so she, on her way home from work, would stop. She lived with me. And she would stop at Lowe's. I mean, almost every couple of days. And they had put these roses on deep, deep clearance. And so she bought them, and I had 3 bushes along one fence on the north side of my property. And I had 2 more that she put on the south side of my property. The ones on the north were the first ones to finally get the rosette disease, and I had to cut them out. And it was, probably 6 or 7 years ago that the other ones got it, and I had to get those removed. And I was so sad because my mom did that. She's the one that planted it. I still have a crepe myrtle that she bought and gave to me on my birthday that was on clearance, and she paid $3 for it. And I still have that crepe myrtle. It's growing in a spot along the fence, and Henry says, "Is that thing ever going to die? Because I'd really like to put something else there." I said, "That's just rude. My mom gave me that." Oh, did you find the link to the one I have? It's the Fiskars Rotary Paper Trimmer. And I don't know if they still make it per se. They may have some still available in their inventory. And I think I'm going to have to buy another one because I just realized mine was cracked. All right, so then I'm just going to lay this over the top. That makes that colorful, doesn't it? Oh, let me get him in the shot. Makes it colorful. Okay, put that kind of in the middle. Layer it down. Okay. And I think, do we want the lighter one? I think the lighter one should go here. In here, maybe? Like that. So it gives you a little bit of writing space and lots of different pattern in the background. Yeah, Yeah, I don't know if they still make them or not. I was sad that the last time I went to Hobby Lobby, how they have gotten rid of everything that isn't their brand. So it's kind of hard to know what's available. You have to look online now. Since Joanne Crafts closed their doors, that was a source that I would go to buy things, but there are no more. It's kind of sad. I haven't been to Michael's in a while. The last time I was there, I was really disappointed in their lack of inventory. Okay, get that one right there. Yeah, because if your Fiskars Trinner, if it has the sliding blade, that mechanism wobbles. That's why I prefer the rotary blade, because it has a track and it stays right on it. It doesn't deviate from that. All right, so I've got this piece and I've got these two that I was going to put on here. What if... Okay, y'all tell me which one you like better. Do we want this as the background, or do we want this as the background? Polka dots or script as the background? You tell me which one you like. I'll put this over here. I'm going to drink of water. I don't know. Let me see if I can open my... I buy the replacement strips. So when you buy this unit, you can get a new blade and you can buy a new strip here. And so I've used those in the past. All right, so what I want to do is go here. My computer might lock up. Waiting, 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 waiting on the computer. Okay, let's see here. It's going slow. It doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, that's the scissors. Copy. I can't remember if I had the... Okay, let's do... Oh, here it is. I got a link for it. One moment. Get link, copy. I guess I need to put one to my shopping cart. Come on, give me the link. What are you doing, computer? Get link. What's up, Hercules? Did you come out of your cubby hole? You okay, buddy? All right. Hercules is starting to lose his eyesight. And because of that, he runs into stuff. Copy. All right. I got it. I got it. I got it. All right. Here is the link to the Fiskars cutter. This is not the self-sharpening one, but like I said, you can... There's a little groove here, and you can take this off. You can see where I have used this side, and then I've used one side here. I really need to flip it around, so I'm going to do that today. And then you just pop that back in here, and then when you go to replace your blades, you unhook it like that, and then you just take this blade out and put a new one in. I even have an extra blade here somewhere. I did have, where is it? There it is. So I'll buy the blades and I'll just stick that in there. And it makes it like a new cutter. So there you go. All right. So what we say? Hi, Elijah. Hello. Okay, I was wondering, you're still making them? Okay, so I'm gonna go with the polka dots. I don't know why I want to, but I'm going to. So I need to cut this to be the same size as my page. I guess I could just glue it down and then cut it. I have done that in the past. Okay, get that lined up and then cut it. Makes him smile every time. Well, he is loved, right? That's how we got to say it. We love him. Love him. All right, got that lined up the best I could. Here we go. All right. So then that side, we'll just have the polka dots. All right. Glue this down. Elijah says hello. What else have I been doing? Oh, my tomato plants that I started from seed with my own hands. I've got 4, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 4 plants, if not 5. And it looks like all of them are starting to make tomatoes. They're going to be the Roma tomato. They're usually good for their flavor. We like using them when Henry makes pico or salsa at home. I think I better see if Hercules wants to go outside. Hang on, y'all. I'll be right back. Go outside? Oh, thanks. Ooh, it is hot outside, y'all. It is hot outside. Alrighty, I think I want to put these on this side. Let's see if I've got something else we can... I've got this little piece. If I kind of put it in the middle, then it kind of gives us some other layers, so why not? So I'm going to cut this to be the same height. Hey Sheila, welcome. Okay, you're welcome for the link. Thank you if you use it. Alright, so I'm just going to cut this to be the same height. It's cut so much better once you flip that cutting mat over. Alright, so this is going to be my top. So I want to say this goes in this direction. I'm going to add some distressings to the edges of it first. It is hot, hot, hot outside. And we are on smart hours because I'm not home during the week except for Mondays. That means that until 2 p.m. we can run our electricity, but at 2 p.m. until 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, there's a different rate that the company can charge that does our electricity, and we try to stay within the limits so we don't charge us as much for electricity, because electricity is expensive, y'all. Work this to fold it in half. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to take this and I'll fold it in half just so I know where the center is, and I'll kind of line it up with the fold already on the page. So when I put that down, then I've got an even amount on both sides, so you'll see that much and that much. What else? I also planted some zucchini and yellowneck squash, and it looks like so far one plant has 2 little bitty zucchinis growing, and another plant has 1 yellowneck squash growing. And I think we saw the other day that there's another zucchini squash that is starting to grow. So I was like, yay! Yeah, why do they choose the dinner cooking hours to be the most expensive time? Because that's where everybody is using the most power. So what we've been doing in the past is we would wait until after 7 p.m. if we were going to cook something, or we would prep food the night before that doesn't have to be heated, and that has worked out for us. I do not know what's for dinner tonight. We talked about it a little bit, but I don't know what Henry decided. We had talked about buying a rotisserie chicken, and then we would take it off the carcass because it's a whole chicken and make a salad. And I know we have a bag of salad in the refrigerator. It's one of those things that you just open up, and they have all the goodies, like they'll have cheese, and this one has dried cherries, I think it is, and it has, what else? Oh, bacon bits. It's pretty good. And we would just add the chicken to it and basically make a salad with chicken on top. I kind of like that. It's kind of nice little layers. And this is this side. All right, so let's fold this back like so. We have tomato, zucchini, yellow squash. Oh yeah, I have watermelon and I have cantaloupe growing. I didn't buy cucumbers this year. The peppers. We didn't do okra. I was worried about the fact that you have to remember to do something with that okra immediately. You can't just let it fester on the vine. Okay, so here's all my pieces. I have a little, oh, that works. Okay. This page, I just glued a piece of book page, but I was wondering if I should add a piece of paper to it. And I think what I'm going to do is kind of put that along the edge there. And that'll be a little pocket. It's not very deep, but it's a pocket nonetheless. So let's add a little bit of butter chicken. Butter chicken. That sounds good. Henry said, so if you were to raise some chickens and we got eggs out of them, when could we eat them? I said, you won't be able to eat them and have eggs. You have to choose, or in our situation, because you can't have very many. Oh, good. The fashion flower is getting viney. Oh, good. Good, good, good. I'm glad it is. Did I give you a blackberry? Did you want one? You know, Henry and I are kind of on radishes. I did have some lettuce and spinach and some arugula growing early on, but once it starts to get hot, it doesn't do very well here. So I will try to grow some more in the fall, and maybe even be lucky that if I can keep my greenhouse warm enough in the early winter that I can have some greens growing in there. The tomato plants are all in pots. So if the end of the growing season outside they still look healthy, I can bring them into my greenhouse and continue to grow for a little bit while longer. Oh, good. The blackberry bush is doing well. Okay, good, good, good. And then, did you want a cherry tree? I have a plethora of invasive species of plants in my yard. One of them is the passion vine. The next is the blackberry. The next is the cherry. I also have some Russian sage that likes to take over. And then I cannot remember the name of the other one, but it has a really tall, skinny stalk with leaves that jut out all the way up to the top. They're real narrow and slender. And then when it blooms, which is going to be late August, early September-ish, it will have a little bitty daisy-like flower that will be a tinge of a pale purple, almost a light lavender. And the center, I think, was yellow. And I'll have a bunch of those that would like to take over. Blackberry jam, blackberry pie, blackberry and ice cream. Yummy. Yep. I think if I get enough blackberries this year, I may try to make some jam or jelly. Okay, so there is that one. I didn't have anything over here, but you know what? I've got this little piece of paper, and I could trim it to put down there. I'm looking to see if there's something else. I also have this piece. This one's already cut. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue this down, but leave it with an opening here in case we want to put something in that later. We can. You lost your crown, Julie? You got to be talking more, right? Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm going to put this down over here. You would love a cherry tree. Okay, well, next time we have one that's volunteering in the yard where it shouldn't be, I will dig it up, or I'll have Henry dig it up. I had him dug one. I can't get the word out. I had him dig one up the other day, and it hasn't perked up yet to really indicate that it is going to survive. And we have a magnolia tree in our yard. And I said, Henry, I think that's a baby magnolia growing up there. And where it was growing, we didn't want it to leave it there. And Henry dug it up, and we put it in a pot, and it seems to be doing pretty good. So maybe we'll get some next time. You haven't stopped talking yet? I can just hear it now when we're in person, and Julie has something to say. Okay, so I have here what's going to be my cover, and I have a piece of fabric, and I don't know if I want it to be that wide. Do we want it that wide? I think what I'm going to do is, I know I want to wrap it around twice, so I'm going to get twice the length, maybe a little extra. And I am going to cut this. So I'm getting my good scissors. Cut this. And I think half of that, would be a good amount. So I'm just going to throw my scrap over there out of the way. Line it up, and then use the crease as my guide. See if I can get this cut straight. If not, I have more fabric. All right, I can go over there. I'll save this. All right, so I'm going to glue down. Oh, I need to distress this. I haven't done that yet. Yeah, you can just carry your own crown. All righty. Let's see, what else? I planted a bunch of geranium seeds. And I have lots and lots of geraniums all over the place. I put them all in pots because I've been learning that geraniums, if you didn't know that, before the first freeze of the year, wherever you live, before that freeze, if you will go ahead and pull the plant out of the dirt. So basically you want to just take your pot and turn it upside down and shake out the plant gently so that you can get the plant with the roots, and you can cut off the foliage, and then you can put them in a paper bag, a couple of them at most, because you don't want them to mold, and put them in a paper sack for the winter. And then in the spring, when you're ready to start planting again, you can put them into pots again if you want, or in the ground if your ground is ready, and they will have a jump start on their growing season. So if you didn't know that, you can do that. Okay, your crown is more pretty. Oh, did you? Yeah, we'd love to have a magnolia tree. I know, I'm trying to get some of the mine's a little gem magnolia, which means that, I guess that's not very straight. It's a smaller magnolia tree. It is supposed to only get like 20 feet tall at the most, but mine's already taller than my house. You can see it. Okay, I'm gonna put this here like that. All right, and then we're going to put a little bit on here. See if I did this right. Get it to lay flat. into the glue. So this is just a simple journal cover. Not too fancy. I didn't make it super thick. There's the front. There's the back. Okay. And then I went ahead and I just cut some cardstock I had that had the seahorses. And that's going to go on the inside. And it'll go on top of the fabric. And it'll help lock it into place. You love magnolia tree, yes. We have a magnolia tree in our backyard, and it made a baby. And so Henry dug it up, and we have it in a pot, and we've been watching it. So if we can keep it growing for another year in the pot, then we'll probably wait, and on the second or third year, we will put it in the ground. We have a spot where we would like to have another magnolia tree. And then in my front yard, we saw underneath there that a Jane magnolia, it's a smaller bush. It's not really a tree, it's a bush. And I've let mine get really big, so it's going to get a haircut in a couple of weeks. But there was one under there too. I don't know where Margie is. I know that she's been sleeping this time of the day. I think she's been falling asleep and taking a nap. So we got that. It's coming up. I have lots and lots of lilies that are starting to bloom all over my yard. I don't know. It's probably not where you can see the picture very well, but let me see if I can. The recent picture I took, this one. Sideways. So this is a corner of my magnolia tree, and I'm going to enlarge that. And these are the lilies that are growing in that. They're a gorgeous color of kind of peach and a dark burgundy. And then I've got another, that's a zinnia that's growing in my yard. And then I've got two more lilies. This is an Asiatic lily, and it's put off this yellow and kind of an orangey color. And then I have right next to it a pale pink, or not pale pink, but a pink one. And then I have, no, go this way. I have some red ones. Oh, this is my, let's go back this way. Maybe I can see it better. I took some pictures in my greenhouse. Oh, here's one of a close-up of that same lily. How it looks. Isn't that gorgeous? Thank you so much, Jennifer. I've been working on it. Oh, here's some of my colorful pots. Let's turn this way. So I did these since you've been here, Jennifer. So I did some in red, teal, yellow, orange, pink, and purple. And the blue, it didn't turn out real well. So I think I have to shake the spray paint longer. And that's why it didn't do very good, because I got tired of shaking it. Shake, shake, shake. These are all Asiatic lilies in my front yard. And they're about, hip high, the tall. And so they're just big, beautiful, deep red lilies that are growing. And that lily, all of the lilies are gorgeous. I've really enjoyed having them. Here's another lily that I have in my yard. That's a mauve color. And then I've got this orange one. It's kind of like a tiger lily. I have a bunch. Thank you. You have to come back by, Jennifer. Now everything's starting to bloom, right? All right, so I've got the cover is made like so. I don't have a pocket inside. Let's see. I have... Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to see if that would make a good pocket. I do have a piece of this, but I think if you use the same one on top of the other, It's hard to see. Oh, what can we use for a pocket, my dear? What about if we did that for a pocket? If I just made a, what, 2.5, what is that? Almost 3-inch by 6-inch pocket. That would be a good pocket and it would contrast. Thank you so much. Can I get all your plants thriving in there? Naomi, the key to your plants is making sure they have the appropriate light and water. That's it. I've been very fortunate. I read a lot about plants. I ask people about plants. So I'm trying to learn, and lilies are so easy. You just pretty much stick them in the ground and make sure they have water and light and they will bloom. Every so often I have to go out there and thin them out, but otherwise I don't do anything with them. Clean off the dead in the winter, that's about it. Thank you, Julie. I've got all kinds of paper pads I found that I've had for a long time, so I decided today I would use some of them. I thought that would look good there. Right, time for some water. Rocky garden beds. Well, and what you may have to do, Naomi, is if you can't add soil to the spot, put a plant in a pot, and not a little dinky pot. I'm talking a pot. I don't know metric, so 18 inches across, a pot. Get a big pot and then fill it with the correct soil that plant needs for your area. And I know it's different because you're in Australia and I'm in Oklahoma. We have a lot of red clay here. Thankfully, my yard is in an area that has a little bit of some sand in it, but not a lot. And I was able to amend it by adding a little bit more dirt. If you dig down below the rocks, it has nice soil. Well, and if you can dig an area out, which is a lot of work. I mean, I understand that in my yard trying to get rid of grass. You have to dig it out, get in there and remove as much of the rocks that you can. But if you can add amendment to the soil to loosen it up, that usually helps too. All right, so let's put pockets on here because I know I have some extra journal cards laying over here and tags that we can put in those pockets later. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down just by adding glue on the perimeter of these pockets. I have a lot of Bermuda grass in my yard, and so what I've been doing slowly but surely is I am removing my grass and making a bed that has other plants in it, not just flowers. I've been doing the vegetables and mixing them with marigolds. I have zinnias and some floroclocks. I'm working on getting some seeds. So next year, I don't have very many early blooming items. For example, I do have some daffodils, but I don't have any crocus, and I don't have any, a lot of people use phlox. It's a real pretty low mounding floral plant that comes up early in the year, and I don't have any of that. So I'm looking to see if I can get seeds or if I have to buy a plant or two, because I'm missing out on some of that really, really early blooming. My yard, I have a lot of, from here to September, my yard will have stages of blooming. It'll have the 4 o'clocks, it'll have the zinnias, it'll have the marigolds, it'll have the mandevilla, and I also have some begonias, periwinkles, and then of course the geranium. So I'm trying to add a little bit more here and there. All right, I think I have some of these tickets. Do we want to do that? I think that adds a little more color to the pocket. I'll make it a text box in case one puts in there. You have phlox in your front yard. Do you like the phlox? I need some. So I don't know where to get it to buy it. Because when I went to look at some of the places, they didn't have it when I looked. Well, and you may want to go with what we call succulents, Naomi, if you want something growing in your garden. They don't require a lot of water and they don't require a lot of soil. You can put them in really shallow places. You could also consider doing a bog. That would be kind of fun too. All right, so I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8. Who's messaging me? Oh, hang on. I gotta see if I have to answer this. I ordered an umbrella for our backyard so we could have shade in the evening. And I think your latest delivery, 8 a.m. to 12. Okay, I don't have to reply. The delivery window for your order is Tuesday. Okay, good. So yeah, I ordered a huge umbrella because our backyard faces the west, and that's when the sun's going down, and so it is really bright on one area where we like to sit, and it's unbearable if it's hot outside. I do have another area that we can sit. We just kind of made up here recently. But we wanted the umbrella because we thought it might provide us a lot more shade. The ground covers, got some spider plants, lamb's ear. Yeah, lamb's ear spread really easily. And you might look at lilies in your area and irises. I don't know if you have the same things that we have in America, because I know your whole climate is different, but you might look at that as well. Yeah, paint. Yeah, that's another thing. Sheila says paint your rocks. You can kind of add your color there. Just like when I painted my terracotta pots. You can get the paint that is good for outdoor. It will paint on metal and plastic and I can't remember what else, what other surfaces that it would say you could paint it on. And it seems to work pretty good. I painted some other things. I had a little metal bird cage that you put a tea light candle in, and I painted a couple of those. And I had a Asian lantern. That's the only way I can explain it, because it has that sharp pointed roof on it, and I painted that. What else did I paint? Oh, I had a turtle that was metal that was sitting outside and it had faded, and so I painted that. So you can paint things to add color. Yeah, you have a lot but your times of year vary because of the heat and the cold factor. And that's us too. We have where we're located in the United States, I'm in zone 7. And so I have to really look at my plants, and it says if this is to be in full sun in zone 4, if you're in zone 7, you need to put it in some shade, because full sun in Oklahoma would burn it to a crisp. All right, I think what I want to do is, this is going to be my first page, and then I just have some other pages that I put together. What if, I don't know if I want that one to be the middle. I think I'm going to no, I'll do it this way. I want this in the middle, and then this kind of halfway through. So we're going to have this one, and then I've got this one, and let's put this one in here. I can get it to go. And I think I want this one. So So we vary the colors. Okay. And then I'm going to put this one. And then I've got this one. And then I have this one. Let's make sure I put it the way that I wanted. Terracotta pots and paint them up. Yeah. Yeah, you know, and you can start small with your terracotta pots. You may even want to kind of dig your rocks out so that your terracotta pot is nested in it and a little bit underground. It will help keep the plant cooler on hot days. It'll also help insulate it when it gets colder. I would recommend in your winters, because we get wet winters here, that you bring your terracotta pots to a safe space that doesn't get below freezing. Otherwise, they'll crack. So that's why I'm going to be pulling all of mine out of my yard in the fall. Okay, so I think I have a plan. I'm going to put this in the middle. Yeah, I think this will work. Okay, let's get my journal making tools. I have a fan blowing on me. It's a battery powered one. I actually bought it to use when we go on a cruise ship. And on Mondays during the summer, it gets hot in here. And I was trying to figure out, how could I get a fan on me? I thought, oh yeah, I have this fan and it's battery operated. I don't have to use electricity. Ah, yeah, yeah. So you're kind of like us, you know, we get the summer, we'll get hot, 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 hot. We've been really fortunate the past couple of weeks that we've had quite a bit of rain late in this spring going into summer for us. So a lot of things are very wet right now, but it's starting to dry out because today it's hot out there. We may get some more rain tomorrow night. Yeah. Yeah, some ideal types of pots. Yeah. And that's just it, you know, I was getting ready to do it myself. If any of you local people have pots that you're not going to use, you don't want, they're not broken, they just may be ugly, I'm going to paint them. If you have pots that you purchased plants from a nursery or wherever, and this was the plant pot that the plant came in, I will take those. Don't throw them away, because I will use them to start new plants. I'll put seeds in there, new soil and seeds, and see what I get. All right, there we go. You have one of those rechargeable handheld. Well, this one is it's like this. It's a box fan. I have it plugged into a external battery, but it puts out. Can you see my hair blowing? I mean, it'll put out quite a bit of air. Now watch it not stay where I'm putting it because I touched it. That'll work. All right, now it's blowing my hair better. I haven't picked up one of those handheld ones. You might send me the link to yours. I'm going to look at it. Yeah, I didn't use a sealer on my pots outside, the terracotta pots, because the paint that I got was what did it say? It was a primer and paint at the same time. And I figured I will probably end up painting them every year. Especially, you know, when I bring them back inside for the winter, because I don't want them to crack, then I can clean them all up. And if the weather's permitting, I can go ahead and paint them again. Oh, you probably have some pots I can start. Okay, good. Yeah. I went to OKC Organics. They're on North Pennsylvania in Oklahoma City. I met them a long time ago, the owner, Mark, and his wife, Janine. And sometimes he doesn't work on Saturdays, but he works during the week. Anyhow, I knew that they could get the things that I wanted. I just picked up 4 7-inch tall seed starter domes so that I can put in the bigger pots that you get from the nurseries with plants already in them, and which would help in that I don't have to do a little bitty 1-inch by 1-inch to put a seed in, then you get it growing so much and then you have to replant it into something else. Well, some plants don't like to be repotted a couple of times, so I want to start with a little bit larger pot so that I don't have to replant it until I'm ready to put it with or where it's going to go for its life. Okay. Well, and I use the plastic pots, Naomi, if they aren't, well, how do I explain this? If they're somewhat of rigid quality, I've spray painted them. I had a neighbor, she was redoing her front yard, and she had 2 tall pots. They were probably, I think, almost 3 inches tall. They're huge, and they're about this big around because I have to bear hug it to pick it up and move it. And they were faded terracotta color, and she was going to throw them away. And I said, I'll take them. So I painted them a pale, pale lavender. They have a new life. Okay, so there is a journal. I've just been talking away. I've got some journal cards here and tags, so maybe we can just kind of put a couple, like this one's got flowers on it. That's okay. We can have that. This has got why fit in when you can stand out. All right, that'll look good there. What else we got here? I have this little pocket. There we go. Okay, and then let's go to this one. Got a couple of little tags. Look at the kitty cats. Margie should have been here. I had kitty cats I put in the journal. And life is good when you, and I'll put that in there. What else? These are just fun. They just say cheese. And then this is just a blue. So I'll just kind of layer them like that. All right, so I still have a few left over. So I'm going to pile them back up. Over here to the side. I didn't add any other decorations because, you know, you may want to not have it fully decorated so that you can add a little bit to it as you work. And I think I'm going to leave the cover just the way that it is and pop that into this pocket right here. So I got to make sure that I'm getting it within. There it goes. Kind of poke that down in there. All right, now it's filled up that pocket. We got a journal right there. All right, so then I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to do on the other pages. I've got this, it says magical, adjective, beautiful or delightful in such a way as to seem removed from everyday life. And this says make your own magic. So I thought those would go together. So I thought I'll glue that down. But I think I want to add a little something right behind there. I have an idea. I'm going to flatten this out. And I think I want a rubber stamp. So where is the stamp that I wanted to use today? Here we go. All right, so I have got some archival inkjet black, and I've got the henna rose. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of, well, no, I guess I could kind of go across. That's what I'll do. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit here and a little bit here. Okay. So now, put this away. I'll close this back, and I'll put this down, and then I'll have this that can go in the pocket, and it makes a nice little corner decoration. All right. Oh, I forgot I was going to say, Jennifer, are you ready to do another handmade paper session? I might be able to do one on like a Saturday or a Sunday. Let me know what you think of that. All right, so then this, we have the stamping that came across, and Call Me Glitter said that we needed tabs on these flip out pages. So I was trying to figure out what could I use. Well, in the kit that I'm using from Norella, she has these little flags. So I thought it might be kind of cute on a couple of these to glue these down. So I'm just going to put it right here. Oh, I think my glue went too far. Alrighty. Give that a moment to dry. You ready to make some paper? Okay, well, Henry said I should have done it last Saturday, but I wasn't in the mood. And I think didn't it rain Saturday? I'm trying to remember. Seemed like there was some rain Saturday. We were going to do it outside, and it was raining, so I think instead we're going to do it at the shop maybe. I don't know. If we don't do it in my house. All right, so on this side, that should be dry now. I didn't put anything over here, so I guess we could, let's find a little something. I could put that behind the flap. Why not? We'll put that behind the flap, and it'll be a tuck spot, sorta. I know a lot of these corner top spots, they don't always hold very well. So I did put a little generous amount of glue on there. Trying to get that straight. Let that dry. All right, Naomi, have a great day. Thanks for stopping in. I don't know where she is. Maybe she had to work too or something, you know. All right, so on this one, do I want to do the same thing? I've got a leaf one. Maybe that's what we'll do, is this leaf one. So I'm going to put some papers underneath to help cushion. And then I've got the leaves. Oh, I didn't put my needle back in my little zipper pouch. I could have hurted to myself. All right, so we're going to take this guy and we're going to stamp it kind of going up the edge. Yeah. And going this way. And might as well just go this way. It's not perfect because I had stuff under and in the way, but it's okay. I like it. Move it out of the way. So now this goes like that. This will go right here. And then I'll have the sentiment that I'll put over the top of it. All right, put that right here. You could even go in and color the leaves if you wanted. I'm going to put it below it. I am. I'm going to put it right below it. She learned to live in the moment. It's one of Norella's sentiments that she offers. All right, so on this one, we use this little tag or a flag is what I call it. Over here, I thought I would just use one of my stamped labels. I stamped it on scraps of paper, and I thought I would just put it on halfway up here, and then that way you can open it up and use it. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here, and then slide that in to place. Let that dry. I haven't decided what to put over here yet. I have a seashell and I have a sunflower. I'm kind of thinking of just putting the sunflower here in the corner. It'll be covered up until you flip this over. Hey Bonnie, welcome. Glad to have you here. Right. Just put that right there. All right, so we'll have a little tab here to open that one up. And then this is a ready-made pocket from the kit, Sea Breeze. And I think I need to cut off a little of the bottom so that it would fit from top to bottom. So I'm going to trim this just a little bit. There we go. Let's see how that fits now. Okay, that fits on there. So I'm just going to add some distress inks to the bottom and then we'll glue it down. We're glad to have you here. Thanks for stopping by today. I hope you're enjoying the chat and watching me create. If you have any questions, please do feel free to speak up in the chat using all caps or asking Jennifer to help me. All right, so we're going to glue that down. I have this calendar insert. Put that over here. One of my coworkers, when I worked at Oklahoma Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, he would buy a photo calendar, or a family member would give him a photo calendar every year. And he would just throw the page away whenever he flipped the calendar over. In this case, you had to keep the calendar page because it had another year on it. But so when he got to the end of the year, or when he got to the point that he could throw the page away, he saved them and gave them to me. So I have several of these, and this is from 2006. My thought was, I don't know which side I like better, the boats, the colorful boats, or the green, but I was going to cut this piece off, and I thought I could either glue a piece of paper to the whole back. Another idea that just struck me is if I were to score across here and fold that over, then what I could do is attach papers to this piece, and that would become the cover of it. What do you think? Oh, your coffee pot stopped working? Keurigs are like a way of life around here. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to score this right across here. I want it to, basically, it's going to become a little hinge. Okay. So that will be the front, and then you can flip it over and you can still see the other picture, but we're going to put paper over this piece. So here's what I need to know. I need to know what are the measurements of this. So it measures approximately 6 inches wide by about almost 6 inches tall. So I could use some scrapbook paper. I have a couple right here. 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 here. And how about if I were to cut it in half and then fold it from the top this way, and that would give us several pieces of paper. And I think I'll figure out a way to cover this piece up and then attach it. I don't know if I want to attach it to where the fold's in the middle and you kind of have it like that, or staple it, or bookbind it. Let me cut this first. See if that's what I want to do. Been sidetracked looking for a new one. I understand that. You gotta have it. You just gotta have it. I always look on Amazon and I read all the reviews to see what is the best product out there for what I want to do. All right, so do I want to make this like a notebook that you basically have papers back here, and then you flip this up, and we'll imagine they're shorter, and this is what it does? Or do we want to fold it? I think I'm going to cut them and make it like a notepad. And what I'll do is I will adhere them onto this strip, and I'll add another piece of paper on the back here, so you have like a book board to it. We can do that. All right, let's do this. I've got this little piece. So I'm going to cut these at 6 inches. I'm going to cut this at 6 inches. And my idea was if I attach this onto here, and I have these attached in here, then I have a little pretty notebook. I'm going to cut off the bottom here, but I wanted to make sure what I was doing was going to work. Sure I'm not cutting something I don't want to. Cut. Test it again. Nope, too long. So let's go to 6 inches. Okay. So now I have this piece, which is going to go on here. I'm trying to decide if I want to cut a piece to go on the inside of this to cover up this portion. I think I might. I think I might cut another piece of paper. Oh, do I have enough of this? Oh, do I? Oh, I don't have quite enough. I don't have enough. I think I might have, I have a gel print here. And I have this piece of cardstock. I think I'm going to use this cardstock because it's thicker. So I'm going to cut a 6 inch by 6 inch square. Yeah, there's a lot of different brands out there for sure. I agree with that. I don't think mine is the Keurig brand, but it does use the Keurig pods. Of course, I use a little basket that I put my coffee in, and that way I don't have to have the pods, because I just use the regular coffee and all I want is 1 cup instead of a whole coffee pot. I'll use that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do... All right, I think I'm going to do is this is going to be the outside. This is going to be the inside. And then I will layer all of those in there. Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. All right, we're going to need some of the beacon glue because this is a glossy magazine, a little bit thicker type paper. So I'm going to put a little bit on here. Close that up. And that's going to go on here. Okay. Give that a moment to kind of set up. And then this piece is going to go right inside. Do I have it turned the wrong way? Does it matter? I don't think it really matters. So that'll be the outside and that'll be the inside. So let's glue that one down. Yeah, the disposable ones are expensive. I agree. I mean, it's okay to buy them if you're having an event or, you know, you want a variety of different flavors that particular day or whatnot. But to do it all the time, it gets rather costly. It's almost as much as going to a coffee shop. Not quite, but it can be. All right, so then let's put this one on top, like so. So there's the front, and then it opens up and we'll have little pages, and this is the back. All right, so now I'm going to take these, and what I'm going to do is put down a bead of glue, and then I put down a page, kind of line it up here. And then I'm going to take the next one, put down the page. Trying to make sure I don't get too high up. Probably what I should have done was just glue them all together before I lay them down. Okay. And I may have to trim it a little bit. We'll see. More. So it's a different way of making a journal or a notepad. All right, what I might do then, so I'm trying to keep the glue clear there, is I think I'm going to mark this and cut off some of these papers. Mark it right there. Let me get my big paper cutter. This is my big fancy Fiskars. And I just want to cut off a little bit of the bottom here. And that'll make that pretty even. There we go. So when we fold this over, the bottom is even now. I could probably trim off a little bit over here too. Yeah, that looks better. All righty. So then this guy, I like it, how it turned out. So you have this, and then you flip it over, and you can look at that picture if you want. But then you have all these papers that you can write upon, or you could tear them out and use them somewhere else if you want. I'm going to get this to dry just a little bit more, but it will fit in that pocket. I thought it was kind of pretty the way it looks there. All right, so let's leave this open for a moment so it'll dry. Get a drink of water. And let's flip black through. This will go here. We put a journal in there. So because Call Me Glitter said this would be great for making a journal all about where you went on. Oh, yeah. That. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. You're editing a photo. Okay. You forgot to use your coupon in May. Oh, no. Okay. So I look to see, did you check Facebook and see if it's still active? If not, then I can go in and make it active again. Anyhow, so Call Me Glitter said, let's put some kind of tab on these. These were some I made a while back. I just happened to find them. This was a gel print printed on some cardstock, and then I cut a white piece of paper over the top to make a little label. So I'm just going to add some glue and then attach it here, kind of in the middle, and that'll be another little tab. Just kind of straightening it up. All right, so then that'll flip over. We didn't have anything on this side, so do we want to, what do we want to do? I'm going to come back to that. I know I want to put this over here. So I'm going to glue that down at the bottom to kind of give a little tuck spot. And then here is another one of those labels. So I'm just going to glue that down. Just add a little bit right here. I may take this one with me, Julie, on my next cruise, because it's small enough that I can write a few things, and I could, if I want to print photos, I can print them to put them on my pages. So this page, my thought was I didn't have a pocket out of the bottom of the bag. And I happened to have this scrap of cardstock that was printed and one of the pocket images. And I thought what I could do is slit a top portion open on the paper sack, and then this could pull out of the top. What do you think of that idea? And then I made a little bit of some papers that I thought went well together, and I thought maybe I could make a little tuck spot over here to put this journal card. So we'll work on these two little ideas here. We have a lot of lurkers today. Everybody's watching and doing their own thing, but not chatting yet because they're afraid. Don't be afraid. Come in and say hello. All right, so I just grabbed some scraps that I had on my desk here, and this just so happens to fit the link there. I know it's not very sturdy, So I have a piece here of that cardstock that I cut off. And I think what I want to do is just trim this. So it should be, what is that? Is that not quite 8, 7, and I think it's 7 3/4. All right. That may be too short, but that's what we're going to go with. Okay. And I'm going to distress where I cut it and distress this piece. This is a cardstock thickness, and I thought that would be a good base to put my cluster on. Oh, I have, do I still have, oh, I only have it in pink. We might be able to use that. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to glue down the music on top of this piece of paper. Kind of start my little cluster. I might see if I have another little piece of paper that would go well. I thought I saw another scrap. Here we go. I have this scrap. Oh, I didn't know there was 2 pieces of paper there. I only need 1. And then I had this little piece. And then I had this little piece. I don't know. I may need another. I think I need 1 more layer in here. Let me see if I have something already cut that would work. Maybe in, I've got this pile here. It's just some pieces that got cut off for whatever reason. You know, you're not real sure what you want to do with it. I think what I do is add some distressings to this blue piece. And I may change, I don't know. I have a fish. I think the pink will work okay. All right, so if I were to take this piece, and let's do it from here to here. I'm just going to fold it over. It's really thin paper. All right, so if I were to lay that in here, lay this over the top of it, this gives me a little bit of a piece of paper behind, so I can layer a few pieces, but I feel like I need, oh, here it is. It's like I'm missing a piece. There it is. And I had this lighthouse image that I was thinking of putting down, and then I found this little piece of cheesecloth. So if we cut just a small piece, let's see what it looks like. What I could do is change the lighthouse for a seashell. Lighthouse. I don't know. I have this piece of paper. Let's try something else. All right, so I'm going to rip this. Okay, and then I'm going to rip it over here. And then we're going to rip off the top and rip off the bottom and add some distressings. Lighthouse. Okay, Bonnie. Bonnie says lighthouse. Okay. I think that's what I needed to do, was to add that piece on there. And I don't think I need this piece. I thought I did, but I don't. I don't think I need it. Yeah. Okay. Anything else over here that I want to use? Anything at all. Anything at all. Anything at all. Okay, I think we got enough. Got enough. Enough little things. Enough. Okay. So I'm going to glue down this piece. Okay. Put it in the middle. I'm going to come over a little bit. Oop, it slid on me. Don't do that. Stay right there. Okay. And then we're going to put down this piece of blue. Like so. And then I want this piece to go in here. I think what I want to do, though, is add a little bead of glue here. Then I can position this piece on the back of it, so when I layer it down, it fits all together. So if you ever have a piece and you're like, how am I going to stick that in there? Well, this is one way to do that. Okay. Now I'm getting optical zigzags. Uh-oh, that's not good, Julie. You gotta keep on top of what's going on with your body, lady. I did glue that one down. Yeah, okay. So now I want to position this one here. Okay. And then, do I want this between and then there? I think I do. Okay. So I'm going to put a little glue here in the middle and put the cheesecloth through that glue. Then I'm going to glue the lighthouse on top of that whole mess. Like so. Smoosh it out. Gotta drink more water. That's important. All right, and then this piece is going to go here, so I'm just going to put glue down one side because I think it may hang off of this piece a little bit. That was a lot. Look at all that on there. Okay, we need a label, don't we? Shouldn't I do a little label? Oh, and I could do it in pink. All right, let's see. I could put a little label right there or there. Pink label or no? Give me a drink of water. Yeah, water, yuck. I know how you are, Bonnie. I find, in my case, I like water, and I'm also picky about the taste of the water. So I put flavor drops in them. Read about the different types that are out there and find one that you like. That's what I would suggest. Looks great. Thank you. I think I'm going to do the pink. Or am I? I don't know. I hate to do more blue. I'm not going to put it on there. I'm just going to leave it off. It doesn't need it. You can stop when you hit bottom pink. Bonnie says bottom pink. Okay, okay. Put it there. Wasn't going to. Sometimes I start to doubt what I want to do, right? Okay. So that is kind of smoothing it out. Do I want it here? I think over here. Bottom pink. All right, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do it. Okay. So then this can go over here. And this is going to get glued. I gotta hurry. Right here. So I'm going to put glue along this edge and this edge and over and glue that down right here. All right, I'm going to let that set, and then when it's dry, this will stick in there. But I'm not going to put it in there right now because I don't want to glue that shut. And then I have another one of those little flags. I thought it looked cute right here. Flavor drops. And we have a brand called Mio, M-I-O, and it adds flavor to your water. So if you're a person that doesn't like water, you can add, in my example, I use black cherry. I really like it. It's tasty. Henry has one that's antioxidant. I think it's blueberries. Skinny syrup. Okay, yeah, skinny syrup is another thing. Yep, because you can get it all different flavors. This is a little pineapple tree that's part of the Sea Breeze kit, so I'm just going to glue it over this side, over on this side, like so. And then here's another one of those little tabs I made a while back, and so I found that I had an extra. Like I said, I've been trying to go through all of my extra thises and that's that I have around here and putting them to use or getting rid of them, putting them in the donation pile, or they go in the trash, or they're going to be put in my shop in a declutter box. Okay, that looks good there. And then, okay, here's another one of those sun, sand, and surf. Let's glue that down right here. Okay. Make sure it's not glued on the back side. And then over here, oh, this was just a scrap of one of the trims that I had cut off, so I was just going to use it because it's part of the kit. There. Give that a second. All right, so what I haven't done yet was across here, opening that up to make a pocket so that I could put this down inside of it. So it's a piece of cardstock that had printed one of the images from Calco Collage. And I was just going to make it a card. Maybe we could add some papers to the back side of it, only because I happened to see a stack over here that if I were to take these, I could cut them to fit this, and then we would have another little notepad. So let's do that. Let us do this. I used paper clips to keep everything together, and so now I have paper clips all over my desk. So I'm picking them up and putting them where they belong. Okay, so I want to cut this piece to be the same width as my little card here. I could mount this on a bigger piece of paper and make it 6 inches, and then I wouldn't cut it. So what if I had this piece behind? I don't know. It's too much the same color. So what if I had a piece of blue cardstock, maybe? Let's see what I've got up there. I see some white. Da, 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 da. Nope, that won't work. I have this lighter shade of blue. I don't know. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. Maybe we should do a yellow. I think this is textbook though. Oh no, wait. I think this is the winner. What do you think? I think that's the winner. I think it is the winner today. So what I'm gonna do, let's see. Oh good, I can do that. So what is this height? So it's 8.5 inches. So, and this piece is approximately a little over 5 inches. So if I go to 5 and, oh, that doesn't make it 6 inches. It would make it a lot more space on the left and right. I was trying to keep from trimming this down to make a little notepad holder. I think I'm still going to trim it down. I think that's the wiser choice because it looks more uniform that way. So we're going to cut that at 5 3/4 of an inch. So that'll be there. Then what I need to do is cut these at, let's do 5 1/2. So it'll be just inside the covers piece. Maybe I should go in and go to 5 and let's look at this again. Yeah, I'm going to make it the same width, 5 3/4 of an inch. This is not straight or something. Here, let's do it this way. 5 3/4. Okay, and then I think I can make this 8.5 inches. Do I want to fold it? No, I'm just going to cut it off. It creates scraps. Yay for scraps! Okay, so now I'm going to glue this onto here, but I'm going to add some distress inks to it before we do that. Okay. The yellow looks good. Okay, thank you. Now, Julie has become obsessed with crowns. Oh, dear. I don't even know what the crown means. Is it by who is here, or is it by the hours you've watched? Is it by chatting? I'll have to look into it. Do you feel special? All right, I think I'm going to glue this piece down. I may cheat. I may glue it to where there's a hidden pocket in it, in case you want to stick something in here. So we've got this piece that'll go here. And then I'm going to take these pieces. All right, there's 3 of them. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there. Another one there. Another one there. And then I'm going to take this piece and put it on top of this piece. Lining it up as best I can. Pressing it. Flip that around. And then this pocket is going to go on the front. Okay. And then this goes right here. And I don't know if I'm going to need this or not, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put it on there as a little pull tab at the top. I think that'll be cute. All right, give that a second to dry. And let's go over here. So my card is going to go in that tuck spot. And I can position him where his little fish nose sticks out just a little bit. What I need now is, that's not it. Oh no, what did I do with it? I have a letter opener that I use in my craft room, but it is not where I thought it would be. Where did it go? I probably said, I'll put it here so I can find it when I need it for my live stream. Isn't that usually how it goes? And then you can't find it during the live stream because you didn't put it where you thought you put it. I found it! It was underneath everything. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up here to this sack, and I just cut a little hole. And I'm using my... Oh, I didn't want to cut that one open. I think I want to go on this side of it. There we go. There. So now I have a pocket here. Right? This should go all the way. Yeah. So now if I take this guy and put these in the pocket on the front, and then there is a pocket here. So if we have, for example, I could just shove these extra pieces of paper right in there, and then this piece will go. It may need a little finessing because of the way the fold of the paper bag is. And then that went down inside there. And then the little fishy kind of sticks out the top. So instead of opening the pocket here, I opened it at the top. Does that make sense? All right. And then the fan has twisted, and so it's blowing my bangs in my eyes. We got this done. We got this done. We got this done. We got this done. Got that done. This is the one that goes in here. I didn't make a journal for the very, very back, but what I might do is get an envelope and gather up the extra goodies and stuff that in the back. Like I've got this, and I've got all these little fussy cuts. So if I put all of that together, I've got a couple of journal cards here that I could use. I've got this, the sayings, the sentiments. I've got this piece of paper. So yeah, I think I'd get an envelope and put all of those goodies in it. I don't know if I have one right here. Sometimes I do. I'll save them. And I know I have a whole stack of them on the other side of the room. But I was trying not to get up right now. Oh, I got another one of these yellow envelopes. I don't know if that'll work. That's not an envelope, my dear. Well, it won't fit all of this. Like, for example, that won't fit in there. But some of this other stuff will. Let's see. This may be too tall. Yeah, that one's too tall. But the rest of this stuff can fit in here. I might put that in a pocket. All right, so this won't fit, this won't fit, this won't fit, this won't fit. Everything else fit in there, but I think I can still take all of these items and push them into here. I may need to cut the edge off here. So if I go ahead and cut this down, it will fit in the pocket. Cut both sides that way. And then that should fit. Yeah, that fit right in there. Yay! And then we have our, oh, I never got around to getting some charms to put on here. I don't know. Maybe we'll do something like that next week. I haven't decided. I need to make some more little dangles, charms, that kind of thing. I also want to make some just some generic journal cards to have on hand. That way they're pretty simple, but maybe they have some flowers on them or something. They're not necessarily one particular theme. I'll go to my phone and I'll go into YouTube and I'll see. Okay, good. An ephemera envelope would be good. Yeah, okay, thank you. I'm glad you like that idea. Let's see. Did I miss anybody else? I was just talking away. So I haven't decided. Another thing that I want to do is I want to make a way to help me keep track of and organize some of my seeds. And they need to be kept in a paper environment as opposed to plastic, because they will mold in plastic and you want to keep them in a nice temperature and don't get them wet. So I'm thinking about using the same concept of this paper sack album, and the sack openings would be the pocket that would hold the seeds. Maybe I'll make a card and make little slits so they slide down onto a big page, and the first one would be all the flowers, and I could do flowers by shade, flowers by full sun. And then that way, when I want those types of seeds, I could go to that page. I don't know. That's what I have envisioned in my head. And I haven't quite get my phone and go to, okay. And, trying to come up with ideas of what I can use to keep track of what I plant, where I plant it, etc. I don't know. That's an idea. If you have any thoughts on, what would you do for a journal? Oh, wax paper pockets for the seeds. That's another idea. I keep my seeds in paper envelopes, I guess you could say, little envelopes. Let's go here. I was trying to go to the live stream. Live. And that should be right now. No. Well, where is mine? How weird. Why isn't it showing me my own video when I go to YouTube? Oh, well. I'll go over here and look. So those are some of the things that I'm thinking about. I have made some wax paper envelopes before. Background can be a picture of the plant. Yeah, that's a good idea too. I like that idea as well. I was thinking I found a couple of gardening books, and so I was thinking about I could use some of those pages if I already know I like that flower as a background, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's something I'm thinking about, and I'll see what I can put together. I hope y'all enjoyed today, that you got some ideas. I'm going to pick a winner of 200 junk bucks, and that person is Mrs. Edmondson. All right, so I'll go to currency. Come on. And DHEMRS. Go. And oh, thank you. She sent me the link to my own video. All right, Jennifer, I'm going to get you updated. So that will put you at 6-1 submit. Okay. I think it's on a commercial. No, I don't care. I don't want that. I want to go to the video that you sent me the link to. There it is. Okay, now I'm on my page. Now, what do you want to see? Okay, send your link. Oh, my God. So am I looking? Oh, yeah, I see it's got crowns. Okay, let me turn the sound off on myself. How annoying. Where are my other glasses? Here they are. I can't see. I have to look over here. Okay. Well, neat. So it puts a little crown by y'all's names. How fun is that? That's really cool. So, yeah. So Julie is number 2 and Jennifer's number 1. Too funny. Y'all crack me up. All right. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I haven't decided yet. I'll make up my mind here shortly. Oh, dear. What else? Do something creative this week. I know life can be hard and it's a struggle to get out of bed some days. I know. I know. I feel it. Find something that brings you joy. Right now, me, it's going outside and looking at the plants that are growing and seeing my husband and my dogs, doing some creative things and sharing them with y'all. Find that thing that sparks joy and go do it. Life is too short. And then get some joy to somebody else. You never know what they're going through. That's why I come here and we try to make this a safe space that you're supposed to laugh and have a good time and not worry about what's going on in the world. Do that for somebody you know. Maybe they need a safe space with you over the phone, instant messaging, text messaging, whatever. All right. Y'all have an amazing week. Do something fun and creative. And again, I hope that you're blessed in everything that you do. Comments again. Yeah, y'all keep going back and forth, back and forth. It's hilarious. All right, everybody. I'm going to get off here. Y'all have an amazing week. Yeah, Oreo was yipping. He's in the other room. He wants to go outside, I think. So I'll have to go get him. Y'all have an amazing week. We'll see you next week with whatever I decide we're going to do. Talk to you later, everybody. Bye.